Jai Sri Krishna. In this chapter, Bhagavan is apprising Arjun the Gyan about Ishwar. This Gyan is a secret since it can only be known when Ishwar's Kripa compels him to tell it to us. We earn this mercy or Kripa through our karma. Here Bhagavan is telling Arjun that I shall now unfold the most secret Gyan about the Nirgun Brahm along with that of the Sagun Brahm or manifested divinity, knowing which you shall be free from evil of the worldly existence. Why is Bhagavan telling this to Arjun? Because Bhagavan says, Arjun, you are anusuyave. That's the term he used. We need to understand the meaning of the word anusuyave. There is a fault in all of us, in our minds, called asuya. This is when we see fault in the qualities of others. We look at the qualities which other people have and we kind of turn them around and say this their fault. It is malice towards others. Why is it so? When we look at an object or listen to another person, we do so with our sight, which is tainted with the fault asuya. In Sanskrit, for the word sight, there is a word drishti, and our personalized drishti is called drishtikon or our viewpoint. This means that we do not see straight, we see with an angle. Anything that has an angle is crooked. These angles are all in us. We all have these angles, the way we look at things. And they represent our likes, dislikes, preferences, etc. These are invariably connected to our selfishness. So when we touch an object, the experience we get from touching is not only that of the object that we touch, but it includes the skill of our hands to touch. Similarly, when we look at anything, can we look at the object for what it is without our prejudices or our personalized sight or drishtikon? No matter how much we try, we who inspect anything, we do so by entering and becoming a part of it. So when we look at something, touch something, that thing becomes part of us. So we do not know how to even look because we are in there and we don't know how to look. We see the way we look at things. Our ability in the way we see, we touch, we hear, smell, or taste is defined by our personalized sight or drishtikon. Our definition of our mental state also becomes part of our experience of any interaction. When we are happy, at that moment we see with the sight of happiness. Everything is delighting to us. The drishtikon of an engineer, an artist, a businessman, they are all different. When we interact with anything, we do enter it. We have no choice. This is a part of the swarup of the sansar. Arjun was well equipped intellectually and was extremely proficient in the matter of warfare. However, in the battlefield of Mahabharata, he was looking and seeing the Kaurav not as enemies, but as his elders and relatives. With this sight, he was overcome with moh and was unable to see things as they were. So he goes to Bhagwan Sri Krishna and asks as to what he shall do. Then Bhagwan told Arjun the Gyan in chapter 2. However, Arjun was working through his buddhi or intellect and kept asking questions which were based on his intellect. Bhagwan kept on working to satisfy his intellectual curiosity through chapter 8. Now, at this point, his hriday, his heart, the innermost heart, became active. In this state, a person knows that whatever he is being told is truth. He knows it by heart. He doesn't question what he is told. From this point on, his questions or inquiries are only to further the understanding and never contradictory in nature. He now says, Anusuyave or one divide of the carping spirit. Now Bhagavan tells Arjun the secret most Gyan, the Ishwar Gyan. The last time we saw that Bhagavan said that there are two types of people. One he called Mood and the others Mahatma. The former remain bewildered with vain hope, futile action, and fruitless knowledge. And they have embraced a demonical and delusive prakriti. They do not possess the skills to interact without becoming a part of it. So they cannot see things for what they are. They become part of these things they see or they look at, and so they cannot see what actually they are. In Gita, for this, Bhagavan has used the word sang or attachment. So they get attached to the thing. They get into anything they look at, they get attached to it, so they cannot see what it is. They get bewildered by the experience of their senses and run after the object of the senses. So if their senses say this thing, this is sweet, they just want to eat more, the sweetness. And they do not really see what it actually is. The latter, who are called Mahatma, their drishti is faultless. Their sight is free of shortcomings which result from our buddhi. Our buddhi or intellect creates shortcoming in the way we look at things. There must be an intimacy, atmiyata, where doubt cannot exist. Unless there is intimacy between the two, there is always going to be a doubt. A listener with any doubt in his chit will be unable to listen. Therefore, secret cannot be told to him. So that's why Bhagavan did not go too much into his own Gyan. He told about other Gyan, Karma Yoga and stuff like that. But now Arjun's buddhi has taken back seat and he is now listening to everything from his heart. The buddhi of a Mahatma remains sidelined and his heart becomes active, which results in intimacy towards the one who is imparting the secret. Now the receiver knows deep in his heart that he will be given the knowledge that is the truth and will help him. In the first 8 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan worked on removing doubts of Arjun. Now Arjun was no longer an intellectual. He became a bhakt. So, to be a bhakt, person has to understand that he is not very intelligent. He just wants to know everything as it is told, then you become bhakt. And that you accept only when you feel an intimacy with the person or the person who's telling you the jnana. The doer of his heart, the intimate self, becomes wide open. The doors of his heart now became wide open. And how he become worthy of this secret jnana to be imparted by Bhagwan? Now the question of Arjun will arise from the heart and not his buddhi, his intellect. The questions which arise from buddhi are reasoning or tark, and in Gyan there is no place for tark. Cannot reason the absolute. However, one cannot reason with the absolute. It must be accepted as it is because it is absolute or sat. Here one asks a question because he knows not and wants to know. What is these questions? These questions are not doubts. Whatever questions he asks, it's not his doubts. But now these questions become a sort of fellowship or satsang. So you're talking like a friend and wanting to find more and more. So for us to understand Gyan, we need to practice purifying our mind and cast away the fault asuya and develop the qualities of a bhakt. Bhagwan has said that whatever bhakti one does, it is my bhakti because I am Vishwato Mukham. I am everywhere, all around. Now Bhagwan is describing this in the next shlok.
पिताहमस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कार ऋक्सामयजुरेव च
Vedyam Pavitra Omkaram Riksama Yajurevacha. Pitamahasya Jagato. Bhagavan says, I am the father of this sansar, this jagat. Pitamahasya Jagato. How Ishwar conveys to Maya that it is time to bring about the creation. This is done by bringing about a tremor in the part of the Ishwar Sarup, where Maya and Brahm are in contact. This is the act of sowing the seed. Bhagavan says, I am the Pita, means the seed of this Jagat come from me. And how does he sow the seed? He sows the seed in Maya by creating a tremor at the place where Maya, Brahm, and Ishwar are together. This is this act of sowing the seed for the creation, which makes Ishwar the Father. In chapter 14, Shlok 3, Bhagavan has made this clear when he said, Mam yonid mahad brahmo tasman garbha dadameham sambha sarva bhutana tato bhavati bharata. Sambhava bhavati bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. That mam yonid mahad brahma, the mahad brahma or the Maya, which is the womb of the creation, in which the creation takes place, I place the seed of all life. This seed is the tremor which takes place there, at that place where the three meet, and signals for the Maya to proceed with the creation, Srishti Rachana. That is how Srishti Rachana starts. Arjun, then the sansar is created and all prani are brought into it. Once the Srishti is created, then the pranis are brought into it. This way, Bhagavan says that I am the Father. Without that seed, the sansar cannot be created. So, Ishwar is Pita. That's why we say, Tomev Mata cha Pita Tomev. So, that same thing here. Mata and Pita, both, Ishwar is both. So, Maya is what? Mata and Arjun, I am also the mother. He says, I am the father, but then Mata, I am also the mother. So, how could he be mother also? A mother possesses the utmost niratishaya and unconditional, meaning nirpeksh, love for her child. Such is the love of Ishwar for Jeev. This does not exist in the father. So the father part of Ishwar doesn't have this, but Ishwar also has this utmost unconditional love for the Jeev. That is why he becomes mother. Ishwar, being complete and full of bliss, needs nothing in return. Just like mother does not need anything from her child in return for her love, father doesn't. Mother, here Ishwar is the same way. Besides, Jeev has nothing. Jeev is always in the pursuit of what we all pursue? Sukh, pleasure. We are always hunting for pleasure. Where can I get some sukh? Go to different places. Oh, if I go there, I'll have fun. All Jeev are always constantly pursuing one thing only, sukh. Some find sukh in money, some find sukh in something else, but they all are looking for sukh. Therefore, the love or prem Ishwar has for Jeev is unconditional because he doesn't need anything in return. He gives that joy, he gives that sukh, the prem. And the love of Ishwar for Jeev is utmost, atishay. That is why, like mother, Ishwar forgives the mistakes made by Jeev. Jeev always makes mistake. But Ishwar always, he does not look at our mistakes. He always forgives them. That is the quality only Ishwar has. The biggest mistake that Jeev makes is that he conducts himself contrary to the rules set by Ishwar. Does not listen to Ishwar. Just like a lot of children do not listen to their mother, but mother still loves them. Jeev thinks with his mind and intellect that no one is looking at him and he can get away with whatever he does. Due to this agyan, he does not know that all avatars, jnanis of Ishwar, who possess Shakti of Ishwar, are always watching our karma. See, that's one thing you learn from Gyan. There's always an avatar somewhere which is watching us all the time. And with that avatar, there are Gyanis who are being given Gyan and for their uddhar, for their upliftment. So they could be Gyani approach and beyond. Those Gyanis are always around Ishwar avatar. They're not far away from him. And they are all watching because they have the powers to see. And those powers come from Ishwar Gyan. So our karmas are in the front of the entire Ishwar Chakra. This is the Ishwar Chakra. Ishwar Chakra is Ishwar with all his Gyan, Gyanis and Bhakt and Premi. They are all around there. which includes avatar, all deities, their vigrah, all jnani, approach, and higher. However, they have no concerns or attachment towards our karma. They are looking at us because they have the power to see. We cannot hide from them. They're always looking. But they do not care what we do. They have no attachment what we do. They just look because we are in front of them. It's like we go somewhere and we look at a beautiful tree. Because eyes are open and trees front, so the eyes are looking. But if you don't have any attachment, you don't even think about it, just move on. That's how the Gyanis are looking at us. They don't interfere. All of them see how we react in case of strife and how we react in case of happiness. There are only two things in human life. One is sukh, one is dukh. There is nothing in between. So they are watching how do we react when some calamity comes or some strife comes or some dukh happens, and how do we react to when we get sukh. So here Bhagavan tells that Ishwar is mother of Jeev because he has the utmost and unconditional love for Jeev. What is the example of this love? It is like a mother wants her child to be the best. Ishwar wants every Jeev to rise to the state of moksha. That is the ultimate. Or he should pursue towards his uddhar. That is what Ishwar wants. Even if the child does not achieve the highest, the mother does not give up. Similarly, Jeev continues to do wrong and make mistakes. Ishwar overlooks his faults. Time and again, Ishwar creates opportunities for Jeev to obtain Gyan for his Uddhar. Ishwar is the well-wisher of Jeev. Therefore, he is the mother to the Jeev and the Sansar. Asya Jagato Maya. Next, Bhagavan says that he is Dhata. So there is Pita, Mata, now Dhata. The English translation for word Dhata is sustainer. In human terms, it is used for the caretaker or a child as he grows up, like people used to have Aya or Dai in the house. In Hindi language, it is used for Bai or I. She keeps the child clean and keeps an eye on the child so he may not fall or get hurt. Similarly, Ishwar keeps Jeev from going in the wrong direction, from making mistakes, and if he falls, Ishwar picks him up. He also removes all obstacles which may come on his way. This he does for those who follow him and travel on his path, who listen to him. This has been described in the Brahma Vidya as that's how it is. One day, the disciples of Bhagavan Sri Chakradhar, when Avatar was there, all his shishya, they were all jnanis, they were all around him. So they asked that we meditate on the mantra which you gave us. However, each morning between 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., who do you think of? We think of you in the morning, but who do you think of? Bhagavan said, I look at all Jeev at that time. Sri Chakradhar avatar is present for another 200 to 300 years. We believe that he is in the Badrikashram area in Himalayas. From there, he looks at everyone, all the Jeev. His followers who remember him in that window of time, which is 3 to 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time, he helps all those followers. For us, it is between 5 to 8 p.m. For this reason, in India, this time is called Brahma Muhurt. At that time, the Brahma is watching. In this window, Ishwar Brahma looks at all of us. Here, this is the meaning of dhata. Take care of us, watches us. So Ishwar keeps an eye on all of us. And when he does this, those Jeev who are in the eternal hell or Nitya also get some relief. When he looks at them also, they get some relief from their misery. In Marathi, this is called Biswa. So Bhagavan says that I, through my Shakti or myself, keep an eye on all Jeev. Those who are my followers, I, Bhagavan, personally watches over them. All others are taken care by his power, by his Shakti. And this is called, in Marathi language, it's called Sangopan Karna. So Bhagavan Sri Chakradhar has explained that his followers are helped by the Maya. Now, what this Maya is? The Maya which is attending to that avatar at that time. We call it Volgani or the attendant. Because every Ishwar avatar has an attendant from each and every Devta around him, waiting for his orders. And from Maya on, all the Devta Volganis are there with him. And where they are right in his eyesight. So he can just instruct any one of them to do whatever he wants to do. So now dhata has two meanings. One is sangopan or protection by the attending Maya, and the other way, watching over all Jeeves every day. Now we take Pitamaha, Mata, Pita, Mata, Dhata, now Pitamaha, or grandfather. Bhagavan says that I am also grandfather of Sansar. How is Ishwar the grandfather also? Because the creation is brought about by Maya. And in it, Maya gave certain powers to every Jeev. With these powers, the Jeev made the subtle body. Thus, Maya brought Jeev into the Sansar and became the father to the Jeev. This way, the Parmeshwar became the grandfather because it is because of Ishwar that Maya is there. So Parmeshwar becomes grandfather or Aja, Ajoba to the Jeev. Next we take what Bhagavan says, he is also Vedyam. This means that Ishwar is worth knowing. This is because by knowing Ishwar, Jeeves does not fall. If you know Ishwar, Ishwar doesn't fall. He is Achyut. Same way, if we know him for exactly his Gyan, through his Gyan, we would not fall. When one does Devta Bhakti, Bhagavan says he considers that Devta as Ishwar, and in fact, he is worshipping me only, but taking a wrong course. Avidhi Purvakam. This is in Shlok 23 coming up later on. For this reason, he does not attain moksha and must come back in the sansar. Therefore, Ishwar is to be known and is worth knowing. Once you know Ishwar, then you would not go in the other direction. Next, Bhagavan says that I am Pavitra Omkaram. Now, this we'll go a little bit, take a little time to understand this. So, what is Omkar? Based on Brahma Vidya of Bhagavan Sri Chakradhar, Omkar is where tripartite triad, this trench is, where Sat, Chit, and Anand are together, where Maya, Ishwar, and Brahm they are together. That is Omkar. The Satchidanand Swarup of Paramatma. That is Omkar. That's where Omkar is. Since all Shakti are together here, this is called Parameshwar. There are Ishwar Shaktis and Maya. All Shaktis are there, total. Here, all three, the Nirgun Brahma, Sagun or Anand Brahma, and Trigun or the Chit Brahma are together. Nirgun or the Sat Brahma Swarup is without any activity. The Sagun or the Anand Brahma takes avatar and comes into sansar. Here the Chit denotes Maya. This Trigun Shakti is Om. This Trigun Shakti Maya is Om. In Om there are three gunas: Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. Now we'll see how these gunas are in Om. For this we will go into Sanskrit grammar a little bit of Panini. In Sanskrit there is a verb or dhatu called av. The word avati comes from av. This is in present indefinite tense and it means he protects. वो परमात्मा रक्षा करता है. He protects. Now if we replace E in avati, these are the rules of Sanskrit language, with U, we get the word avatu. It is the imperative case and it means that he shall protect. It's imperative that he will protect. Paramatma raksha kare. In both words, avati and avatu, the root is av. Now in Sanskrit, the letter u becomes va. It can become va and vice versa. Similarly, letter e becomes ya and vice versa. The letter da in Sanskrit becomes ta in English. Okay? So the word dvau of Sanskrit becomes two. Da became ta. So in English it's T. So dvau becomes two. And ma in Sanskrit become ka. Ya becomes ka. So not ya, ga becomes ka. So in English, gau, in Sanskrit we say gau. Gau becomes cow. Ga became ka. So gau became cow. We'll do the same thing here. From av, we will make word avam. Then we'll change va in avam to u. Now this becomes aum. A plus u becomes o. These three letters, A, U, and Ma, represent Sattva, Raj, and Tamogun, respectively. And they together make the word Om. These are Utpatti, Sthiti, and Pralaya. Sattva is Utpatti, Sthiti is Rajogun, and Pralaya is Tamogun. Also, they are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiv. This way, in Om, there are three gunas. The letter A represents Sthiti, U represents Utpatti, and Ma represents Pralaya. Thus, these three gunas are in Maya. That is how Maya has three gunas. So, all creation, etc., happens through Triyansh Parameshwar, which is Satchidanand Sarup Parameshwar. The Om is from the Triyansh Parameshwar. So Bhagavan says, Pavitram Omkaram. I am Omkar. Bhagavan says, Riksama Yajurevacha. I am also Rigved, Samved, and Yajurved. Bhagavan omits the Atharvaved. Practicing these three Ved, Rig, Sam, and Yajurved, one can achieve Swarg or the heaven. Practicing the three Ved involving performing 100 yagna, one can go to Swarg. Each yagna is performed by a group of 4 Vedic priests, Purohit. They sit on 4 sides of a square altar or Havan Kund, or is called Vedi. The priests are Ritvij, Hotri, Udgata, and Adharvyu. The Ritvij recites the mantra and tells the meaning. Then the Hotri recites the mantra of the Yajurved and makes the offering. That's how the karma takes place. Offering to the fire at the altar and says Swaha. Then Udgata recites giving meter to the mantra. So when he is singing the mantra, his hand goes up, down, different ways, depending on how dirg or how low he is gonna pronounce that word. This is Samved. The role of Adharvyu is to make all arrangements for this yagna in a proper fashion. He keeps everybody supplied with all the samagri. The Ved is only one. According to the application, the Ved became 3. At one place in Samved, it is mentioned that Yat Rik Tat Sam, meaning that what is Rigved, that is the Samved. The content of the scriptures are divided into sections based on subject matter. So if we take Ved, the Veds are divided into mandals. In Ramayana, they are divided into Kand. In Gita, they are divided into chapters, Adhyaya. And in Mahabharata, the division is Parv. In Ved, there are 3 divisions. First is Mandal. In each Mandal, there is what we call Sukt. And in each Sukt, there are mantra. The word Sukt means where a deity has been praised. So if it is in Agni Sutra, Sukt, the praises, all the mantras are doing the praises of the deity Agni. In the first month of Agni Sutra, it is said that Agni, thou art my Purohit. you will take this sacrifice or this yagna ahuti to the heaven for me. In Rig Veda, what is called sukt, it is called, in Yajurved, it is called sukarma, because in the Yajurved, performing the yagna, giving the ahuti, the karma is performed. So it's called sukarma, meaning with this the karma is performed. In Samved, it is called sugan, when they are singing the praises. So we saw that the Ved is one which became four depending on the application. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Rik Sam Yaju Revacha. This means that work of the three Ved is in him. You cannot go to Swarg by practicing these three Ved, but that's all part of him. It's all in him. So he is Rik, Sam, and Yajurved. The Atharvaved came later, and it is not applicable going to the Swarg. So we saw how Bhagavan is the father, mother, grandfather or to the sansar. He is the father because he is the seed for the creation. He is mother since his love for the jeev is utmost and unconditional. He is dhata since he repeatedly picks up when jeev falls and helps him. He constantly watches over the jeev, and he is grandfather since Maya, which created the sansar and brought jeev into it, so he is grandfather. He is Vedyam. He is worthy of knowing. By knowing him, one knows everything. He is uplifting of jeev. The uplifting of jeev happens only when jeev gets Ishwar Gyan. This is what Bhagavan is telling Arjun in Gita. He is Pavitra. Ishwar is pure since he is Nirgun. There is no gun in there. Nirguna. None of the three gunas are in Ishwar Sarup. So he is pure. And he is Keval. There is nothing else in his Sarup. He is the only. He is Anand Sarup. He is Omkar because he protects Jeev, all the human beings and everybody. Om is from the word Av, as we saw, which means protect. And from Av became Avam. And by substituting letter, we became Aum. It has all three aspects of creation, means Utpatti, Sthiti, means existence, and Pralaya, dissolution, and three gunas. The state in which all three gunas are sum. Now, this is something we need to understand. When all three gunas are sum or in equilibrium, that is Om. So when people chant Om, with chanting practice, their three gunas come in equilibrium. Therefore, Om is the power of three gunas. Om is Chid Brahm or Maya. It has three gunas in its fabric. It's made up of three gunas. In Brahm Vidya, there is a little difference. Here, there are A, E, U, and Ma. In Brahm Vidya, we have four. Instead of A, U, Ma, we have A, E, U, and Ma. It is as following. Akaren Sad Brahma Proktam. A denotes Sad Brahma. Ikaren Chid Brahma Smrata. E is Chid Brahma. Ukaren Anand Brahma Smrata. U is Anand Brahma or Ishwar. Makaren Jeev Sannitha. Ma stands for Jeev. So here Jeev is also part of Om. So here A, E, U make O. When you put A, E and U, it becomes O, followed by Ma. It becomes Om. There are two ways to write Om. In Arya Samaj, which was one of the four reactionary movements in India, started to counter the Christian and other religions. It was started in Punjab, the Arya Samaj started in Punjab by Swami Dayanand. He was from Gujarat and his prior name was Mool Chand. And the other movements were Brahma Samaj, Dev Samaj and Prarthana Samaj. The Dev Samaj was started by Devarshi Tagore and Prarthana Samaj by Ranare in Maharashtra. In the fourth section of Satyarth Prakash, that is the Granth of Arya Samaj, Swami Dayanand rebuked other religions in the same manner as they did to the Sanatan Dharma. He did not hesitate. He said that we believe in Vedas because other religions were making fun of Ram, Krishna, and Devi and Devatas. They were making fun of them. So he said, we believe in Vedas, and became Vedic Dharma. And names which are mentioned in Veda are gods. He says that is Paramatma. He said that Om in the Sanatan Dharma is mysticism. The Arya Samaj thrived in Punjab since there the influence of Muslims and Sikh was widespread. There the Sanatan Dharma had all but disappeared. They considered Swami Dayanand as Bhagwan, just like people say some other Swami as Bhagwan. Dayanand as Bhagwan. And in Punjab there were 4 ethnic schools. See, when Swami Dayanand started his movement, they opened the schools. What he did, he copied after the Christianity, because Christians have church and schools with them. So in Punjab there are 4 ethnic schools. They were Sanatan Dharma schools, Khalsa, which is Sikh schools, Arya Samaj schools, Muslim schools, and in addition there was a government school. So there were 5 type of schools all around Punjab. Swami Dayanand wrote Om as is written here. That is how he wrote Om. Whereas the Om correct lipi is like this. They did not understand the Om, so they changed it. He said to recite it in Pluth. He said, say Om in Pluth. In Sanskrit, there are 3 ways to speak a swar. They are Ras, Dirgh, and Pluth. In Ras, there is 1 meter, matra. So you recite for a duration of 1 meter. In Dirgh, you recite for 2 meters, double matra. And Pluth, they are recited in 3 matra. So that is called Pluth. So in Om, the O is spoken in 3 matras. Om, very, very long. So they wrote it as A and made it 3 and Ma. So you say Om in 3 matra and then say Ma. When we call someone we stress their name, don't we? We may say, hey. So, same way in Sanskrit, this is called plut. We stretch it long distance. So they wrote Om as A 3 Ma with a numeral 3 in the middle. The correct way to write Om is like that. In it there is Akar, Ikar, Ukar, and the little dot on the top here is Makar. Om is also called Pranav. They call it Om as a Pranav mantra. How you recite Pranav mantra? By chanting Om. In chapter 10, Bhagavan said that in Veda I am Pranav. Here Om is the Trigunatmak Shakti of Ishwar. So we saw that the root for Om is Av, which means to protect, and Om means he protects. To protect, 3 devatas are needed, which represents 3 gunas. So there always all 3 gunas are required for protection because they represent all devatas. For this, they need to be in an equilibrium, sum. In the absence of this equilibrium, whichever guna is in higher preponderance, higher level, that gun will administer the bhog. When they are all in equilibrium, it cancels out. But when they are not in equilibrium, the guna which is higher preponderance or which is more is the one which administers the bhog. In Hindus, this is for protection. Similarly, in Ayurveda, just like in Ayurveda, when Vat, Pitta, and Kapha are in equilibrium, the health is good. So if our gunas are in equilibrium, then we don't have problems. When the gunas go out of whack, then we get into different bhog. Here the bhog is for the jeev. So jeev's health is not good then. When gunas are in equilibrium, the prakriti does utpatti in sansar. Things grow properly. In Navratra, there is equilibrium. That time there is equilibrium. It is called equinox. Nox is not in equilibrium right now. Nox means night and equi means equal. It happens twice in a year. Once in March, around 19th. It's called Vernal equinox. Vernal is a Latin word for spring. And in September, which is around 22nd, and which is called the winter equinox. In our case, the winter equinox is called Sharadiya Navratra, Sharad Ritu. And the spring one is called Vasantik Navratra. We'll see how at these 2 times the night and day are equal. Let us divide 360 degrees in the group of 9. When we do that, this gives us a year with 40 groups. 9 times 40 is 360. Each with 9 days. Each group has 9 days. After every 20 such groups pass, an equinox occurs. Within the equinox, the sun travels 2 ways. One time, southern node, which is called Dakshinayan, or by the northern node, which is called Uttarayan. So the Prakriti created the Jagat, and thus the Prakriti became mother. In Gujarat, they call Prakriti, they gave a name Amba or Jagdamba, the mother of the whole sansar. In Punjab, they call Durga, and in Bengal, they call Kali. The Amba or Jagdamba is for Utpatti. See, we saw there are three roles of Maya: Utpatti, Sthiti, and Pralay. So, Amba or Jagdamba is for Utpatti. Durga or Vaishnav Devi or Saraswati does the Sthiti. And when this same Shakti takes the form of Kali, it causes Pralay. This is Adi Shakti with three gunas. The Shakti Puja is done during Navratra, everywhere. Since the Adi Shakti is Utpadak, it produces, it is called mother. And people who have no children ask for the blessing of the Shakti for children, and they worship as Jagdamba or Amba. When the child is in school, they worship Shakti as Saraswati, because child is got to, they say Saraswati is the deity of learning. They want the Saraswati blessing for the child. It's all Shakti is same. For the children welfare and marriage, they worship Durga or Vaishnav Devi. All puja is the same in every case. In Maharashtra and Gujarat, it is called Ghat Sthapan. The puja is done by Ghat Sthapan. In Punjab, it's called Khetri. Khetri comes from Khet. Khet means a big field where you grow food. And Khetri means a small khet. Here they take some soil and sow jowar or dhan and place a ghada, an urn, in the middle of it and put a diya on top of it. For 9 days, the puja was done of this ghada and the sprouts which come out of that soil which they are sown. For 9 days of Navaratri. On the 8th day in Punjab and UP, they fed 3 or 5 very young pre-puberty age girls and 1 young boy. They are served with puri and halwa. In Gujarat, they went into doing garba. All this is nothing but the puja of Shakti. In Punjab, Durga Puja is called Jagrata. When Ram was having difficulty to defeat Ravan, he did Durga worship for these 9 days and achieved victory the 10th day, called Vijayadashmi. This is about the Hindu Dharma in short. Bhagavan says he is also Riksam Yajurevacha for the performance of 3 kind of karma. There are 3 Vedas. Although the Veda is one, but there are 3 applications of the Veda. Thus 3 Vedas. The 3 Vedas represent 3 gunas. All Veda mantras start with the syllable Om. In chapter 2, Bhagavan said, Traya Vidya Vishaya Veda. The subject matter of Ved is Trigunatmak. Bhagavan continues to enumerate his Gyan in the next slok. But so far we have seen what does Om means, what these Veds are, and all the Shakti Puja that happens. is all three gunas. So now Bhagavan goes into telling further his jnana.
गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी निवासः शरणं सुहृत् प्रभवः प्रलयस्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम्.
Bhagavan says that I am the gati of Jeev. The gati of Jeev. Here, gati does not mean speed. It means the ultimate destination where Jeev must get to. It is the goal of Jeev. Until Jeeves get to this ultimate destination, he continues to revolve in the cycle of birth and death. Bhagavan says, I am that gati. Along with gati, he is also bharta, the one who sustains. Sustaining or bharan poshan of the Jeev is to give him the jnana. Like the body needs food, similarly, the Jeev for its health and wellness needs jnana. That is the food of Jeev, not the food what we eat. What we eat is the food for this body. But for Jeev which is residing in there, the food of the Jeev is jnana. Just like food makes this body grow stronger and bigger, the jnana makes Jeev stronger and better, bigger, and helps Jeev to grow. Ishwar gives jnana and helps Jeev to keep it and complete its practice. He doesn't just give jnana. He helps Jeev to maintain that jnana within himself and to practice it properly. As Jeev grows, what happens is Devta Shakti, which are operating within the body, they become separate. They become separated from the Jeev. They no longer, he doesn't need them. Now, in the place of Devta Shakti, which is working in the body, in the place of that Shakti, the Gyan Shakti of Parmeshwar start to work. So he becomes what Ishwar becomes? He is Bharta. He sustains. Next, Bhagavan says that I am Prabhu. This means he is the master. Prabhu means master. In Sansar, it is his sovereignty, Satta, which is working. As a master, he does justice also. All devtas abide and act under the rules set by Ishwar. They don't work on their own. They work by the rules which are set by Ishwar. He gives power to devta with which they take decision. However, the ultimate power of that decision, Bhagavan says, is me. Therefore, I am Prabhu. He says that I am also Sakshi. He is not only Prabhu, but he is Sakshi. What kind of Prabhu he is? He is Sakshi. His powers are working in everything. However, he is away from it all. He keeps himself away. He always remains unattached. He just sees everything going on but does not interfere. That is Sakshi. He doesn't tell anybody to do anything. He just watches them what they are doing. He says, I am Nivas. Nivas means I am the permanent place for Jeev to be. Nivas, the place you live, that's Nivas. So he says, I am Nivasa. I am the permanent place for Jeev to be. Other places where Jeev stays, they are temporary. They are not permanent. We come in this body, the body is not permanent. Go to Devta, Devta place is not permanent. You have to leave there. So, but when you get to Ishwar, that's the permanent place. You don't return from there. You don't have to leave from there. Once Bhagavan says, once Jeev get here, he does not return. Then he says, I am Sharanam. Means I give refuge to all Jeev. When they take refuge in me, he says, I do protect them. Bhagavan Sri Chakradhara has given the example of Sharanagata. Jeev has accumulated numerous debts of different devata. These devatas are lined up to get paid from the Jeev. If you take a loan from somebody, you take loan from 10 different people, 10 different agencies, they're all wanting their money back, don't they? They're all lined up to be paid. Now, if you don't have anything, what you do? Jeev, having nothing to give, is subject to Devata who want to take him into different yoni and administer the punishment for non-payment. Okay? So that's how these Narak yoni comes into play. Some Devata, he took some loan from a Devata to do something, to enjoy something, some action. And Devata said, now you have to pay me, time for you to pay me. If you can't pay me, you have to become a donkey for a certain duration. Okay? Or become a dog. Or whatever. So these other yoni, other than these human form, they are all Narak yoni. Because there is those animals work exactly according to what they are supposed to do. They don't think, they don't do all this stuff like human beings do. Humans are free to think and act. They are doing exactly what Devata wants them to do because they are paying their debt. Having gone through these Narak yoni, when Jeev gets to the human form, he is now fed up with all this and he becomes a human being again. And that time he can get Gyan. When he gets Gyan, he moves over to Ishwar. Now he knows what is the right thing to do. So he moves over to Ishwar and takes refuge in him. Just like Arjun did. Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. He says, help me. I am your disciple. Tell me what I should do. That is taking refuge. From this time onwards, Devata backs off and Ishwar helps the Jeev to repay the debt in a fraction of what he owed. He tells all the Devatas who Jeev owes the rin, you have to forgive half of his rin. And the other half, howsoever, whenever he can pay, you have to accept that way. It's like, the example is like a person is really up to here with the debt, and he can't pay and everybody is coming after him. So he goes to a sadarth, means a rich person, who is a very kind person, and he goes to him and says, they are all bothering me, please help me. And out of kindness of his heart, he takes him in as his own person. And then he tells all those people who this person owes the money. This is how you have to do it. And they all listen to him because he has the power in that area. Same way, this is like he is in Sharan of that Sadarth person. Same way, Jeev goes into Sharan of Ishwar. Here Bhagavan Krishna is saying that one who takes refuge in me, I protect him. Protect him for everything. All the Devta and everything, he protects him. Bhagavan Sri Chakradhar called him, this person who takes refuge, as Anusarla. He runs his life according to the what Bhagavan says. Next, Bhagavan says that I am Suhrat. This means well-wisher, Shubh Chintak. Ishwar is the only true Suhurat of Jeev, nobody else. He does everything for Jeev so he can rise above the sansar and want nothing in return. That's what Suhurat is. Next, Bhagavan says that I am Prabhava, and Pralaya. He is behind the creation. Prabhav means creation, Utpatti, and Pralaya means dissolution of the sansar. He says, I am both. He enables the Pralaya so that all Jeev who are in Nitya Narak or eternal hell can get another chance of getting Gyan. He is also Sthanam. He is the place which is the Gati of Jeev, from where Jeev does not return in the sansar. That is the Sthan he is. He is also Nidhanam. What does Jeev look for in the sansar? It is the pleasure he seeks at all times. Bhagavan says, I am the repertory of Anand, that Sukh. I have all the Sukh. Like him, his Anand is limitless, never can be reduced. And he is Bij Abhyayam. He is immutable, imperishable, and he is the seed of the sansar. Bij Abhyayam. He is Abhyay Bij of the sansar. Now the next slok is saying, Bhagavan is telling a little more about himself.
Tapamyaham varsham nigranamyutsrujami cha amritam chaiva mrityuscha sadasachaham arjuna.
Here Bhagavan says, Tapa meham. As the sun, I give heat to the entire sansar. Aham varsha. As megh of the clouds, I withhold and send forth rain. Nigrahami. I attract everything into me. Everything can come into me. I attract. And Yutsrajam, I bring forth all into the sansar. So everything goes into him in pralay, and then during utpatti or creation starts again, everything comes out of him. So he is Nigrahim and Yatsajami. He says, Amritam. I am Amrit, the immortality. I give life, and Mritusya, I bring forth the death also. He does both. He says, I give life and I bring forth death. But remember, he is not attached to any of those. He is Sakshi still. O Arjun, Aham Sad Sach. I am Sat as well as Asat. I am both. I am Sat and Asat. He is Sat as Sagun. When he takes avatar as Sagun, he is Sat. Asat as Nirgun. When he is Nirgun, he is Asat. Even me being all this, Bhagavan says, humans do not do my bhakti. See, he had told everything. I create, I do everything. Jeev, final award is in me, and whole nine. He told everything. But he says, even having all this, humans do not worship me. Maybe 1,001 somewhere Birla does worship me. Which Bhagavan already said in Gita. Manushyanam sahastreshu. Why is it so? We will take up next time. Hare Krishna.